What's up, gamers? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to play as a team in Rainbow Six Siege. Before we go any further, there are links to my Twitch and Twitter in the description below, so make sure you go check those out. So this video is coming in from Andrew Mason, who recommended it in the comment section on one of my videos. He said, "Thanks for the video. What rank are you, and do you have any suggestions on how to play more as a team with a 5-stack?" So this one's for you, Andrew. If you have any other video suggestions or recommendations, make sure you put them in the comments below, and you might be featured in one of my epic banger videos. All right, anyways, into the team play. So the first thing you want to understand is that obviously the team is 5 players, and you need to have different players play different roles, okay? Not all 5 people can go Ash, Sophia, IQ, Buck, let's see, like, you know, frag operators. You have to have some support. On some maps, more like Coastline, you can get away with only having 1 support. Like the team I'm on, we usually only run a Habana, then our 4 other players will play more aggressive characters like Jackal, Ash, Sophia, Buck. But on more traditional maps, like maybe Cafe, you would need some more support operators, or else you're not going to be able to get the wall open, cover plants with smoke grenades, watch your flanks with nomads and whatnot. So making sure that you build a team where certain players can play certain roles, as opposed to just having 5 Jaeger Ash mains. It's not, if you have 5 Jaeger Ash mains, you're not going to be as successful, because when you need a Thermite or you need a Capitao, nobody will be able to play them that well. So making sure you build a team with some of your friends or people that you know that can play the different roles is very important. Now, for actually going, and by the way, I made videos on how to play pretty much every role on this channel, so make sure you go check those out. But now for actually getting into the game, what's really important for playing in a 5-stack is communication. Whether it be having custom callouts, so you say, like, for example, NIP, which is a callout my team has, people know where that is, or Dream, or whatever it may be. See, so you probably don't know what those are, but since it's a custom callout for our team, somebody says that and we know exactly what they're talking about. So communication is really important, making sure that everybody's on the same page of where people are, and knowing, okay, so if somebody's there and we're pressuring from this side, I should rotate behind and try and pinch them from the back. But the rotation and pushing really comes down to the IGL, which is very important. I do have some experience as IGLing. I'm not the best at it. But basically, what you do as an IGL, you tell your team who's taking what. So like Sophia, Capitao, you push Office, for example, sticking on the Coastline idea. Sophia and Buck, you push Sunrise. Habana, you will go on the roof. And you basically tell your teammates and your team what they need to be pushing, where they need to be going, where their utilities placed, like Nomad, Air Jab, White Stairs, and Luggage Door, whatever it may be, something like that. So joining is very important, communication, making sure you're all on the same page, but having designated droners or communicating if you're an entry player or entering the building where you need to be droned in, so that you are droned in and you don't just run in without any intel. That's very important as well. But since, if you notice in my IGL example, I never really had people solo pushing except for the Habana on the roof, but that's kind of fine because nobody's going to be up there. But pushing together is very important to get refrags, which is basically when one of your teammates dies, you get a kill off of the person that died. So it's kind of like baiting them, but in more of a positive way. So let's say you have 2 people pushing Sunrise and there's a Jaeger inside. You say you have Buck, Sophia pushing Sunrise. Jaeger kills Sophia, but then Buck kills Jaeger. So it keeps it as a 4v4 and you trade is what's really important, because you want to keep the man count either in your favor. Like if it's a 3v2, you want to have 2 people together. One of them dies, you kill the person that killed them. Then it's a 2v1, you keep the man advantage. Or you keep it even. That's what you always want to try and do, is keep it even. That's why solo pushing is very bad, because especially with such little time, usually, depending on how the meta is right now, having not even numbers is really bad. If you're trying to push a site in the 2v4, because 2 of your teammates went off and solo push and died and nobody could get the refrag, it just tips the round really badly against, not in your favor, really towards the defender's favor. But going off with the refrag, it's like positioning, playing as a team. This kind of like all these points tie together. So with droning, let's say you find out somebody's in blue bar and you find out nobody's in sunrise. So you want to push into sunrise, push into office, and go on blue bar window, for example. This is, hopefully you can kind of track what I'm saying here. But what you want to try and do is use your teammates to pinch somebody, to surround them from all sides, to where you're A, in a position to refrag if one of your teammates dies, and B, you trap the defender or whoever you're pushing. It could be a solo pushing attacker. You just trap them where they are so there's nowhere they can go. And then you establish a crossfire. So like basically, oh, I'm watching this doorway, you watch the window so that the way they can't leave, whatever it may be, something like that. That just makes it very difficult for the defender to play, being surrounded by 3 people. There's really nothing they can do. Even if they kill somebody, it would probably be like an Ashe, who their whole job is pretty much to die, and then they'll get refragged out. But it's unless you can get a very high impact frag, like a Thermite, a Thatcher, a Habana, somebody like that, usually there's nothing you can do. Especially as a roamer, this is what you struggle with the most. Whenever you're roaming, is coordinated teams will find out where you are and pinch you, which is why for some of the strategies on our teams, we have 2 roamers roaming together so that they can't be pinched, or it's a lot harder to because there's 2 of them and they're in a position to refrag. So after you've pinched the roamers, refrag, done all your droning, and you're in a position to execute on the site, which is basically going for a plant, because either you're going for a plant or you're trying to kill all 5 people. It's really what it is. You're pretty much droning and pushing up until when you're gonna plant. If there's 30 seconds left, you could still be droning. And then you find out, oh, hey, both of them are on top of cool vibes. Let's go for a plant right now. So executing is really important. Having this, again, it comes with positioning, not so much refragging, but if you're trying to execute, let's say onto billiards on what's that map called? Coastline. There we go. You would want to have somebody 90 near the default cam watching the push from cool vibes and vase. Somebody on billiards double window, either watching the rotate or watching the mini bar in billiards. Somebody aqua. Hopefully you get the point here. You want to have all of your bases covered with crossfires and positioning your teammates, especially if you're the IGL, for when you go for a plant. There's pretty much no way they can just run up and kill you, except for if they use a nitro cell or a smoke grenade or shoot you from downstairs, whatever it may be. But even if, so going off again onto if they shoot you from downstairs or nitro cell you from downstairs, having somebody positioned downstairs or a drone downstairs is really important. That's another thing with droning. Your entry should have pre-placed drones in common spots. This was in my entry video if you want to go check that out. But like I said, for positioning of defenders, our strategies have 2 of them roam usually. So I will make more in-depth videos on strategies in the future, but just a general basis for it. You want to have strategies that, there's like a couple main versions of strategies. Waste time, which would be like a Wamai, Jaeger, Goyo, Smoke, Maestro. You want to have get kills, so like Vigil, Mozzie, Valk, Jaeger, Smoke. Or you want to just have plant denial, which would be like lots of nitro cells, so Mute, Valkyrie, Mozzie, Mute, Valk, Jaeger, Smoke, Maestro. So those are like the 3 main types for defending strategies. For attacking strategies, it's either like, I don't really know. It's kind of vertical play or horizontal play, realistically. So either getting like a hatch or getting a wall. So I mean, usually on attack, you can play either way with whatever lineup you have, like a Buck, Sledge, Thermite, Zofia, Nomad. They can all play either horizontal or vertical. Of course, if you're playing, you will want to switch some of those operators out because Buck and Sledge are very vertical operators. But for defending, you usually do have some more operator heavy strats. You can't just rotate them around with the same operators. So with the strategies, you're going to want to have the strategies work into your player's favor. So if you have somebody that's really good on Jaeger, it doesn't make sense to put them on mute, you know? So you want to just make sure you understand your team. This goes all the way back to our first point in the roles, making sure that you understand how you're, especially if you're making the strategies, what each member of your team is good at, and putting them at that role, at that character, at that operator, and then positioning them with one of their teammates to help them with the refragging, and so that you can't get pinched. And if it's an attack strategy, positioning them usually like a support and an entry, or a flex and an entry, so that you have a designated droner to get the intel. And then when you go for an execute, you are positioned to make the execute work, to make sure you can't just get run up on and nitrocelled or smoke grenaded or shot or whatever it is. So hopefully this all made sense. It's a lot of information. Team play in this game is very intense and very strat heavy. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. But thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, remember to like and subscribe for more. I stream pretty much every day. My schedule is probably going to change for streaming because of this team I'm on. So make sure you check out the Twitch in the description below. We're going to still be streaming a good amount, maybe 3 to 4 times a week. I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, so thank you for watching, and peace out, gamers.